Beloved Dhamma friends, we are going to start another session of question and answers.
On the mic?
Can everyone hear me?
Yeah.
And I have a question to start with. Anyone do not understand English?
Maybe if I don't understand a part, I can ask for
Yes.
translation then.
Ja, okay.
So
It's
don't
full-time
have
hired.
Dann können wir das so machen, wir lassen das nur in Englisch und falls was unklar ist, kannst du fragen. Ne?
Okay.
Dann sage ich noch was dazu.
Are you okay?
No.
No?
So you can come close.
No.
Come close. Okay, you may read the question, please.
Perhaps I have some intuition.
Yeah.
What is it?
Difficulty hearing on this side, sir. Difficulty in hearing.
So that the mic is necessary.
Please.
Yeah. ළඟට එන්න. Come closer.
කපයි කියලා බය.
අපන්නේ නෙවෙයි පොට්ටේට තියනවා සා. කොට රොක් වෙලා තෙන්ලා ඉඳගෙන ගොරව ඉන්නවා මේ මැදටලා භාවනා කරන්නේ නැතුව. ඉංගලන්තෙන්ලා එනවනේ මෙතෙන්ට ඔතන හේත්තුලා බුදිය ගන්නවා. මේ මැදටලා ඉඳ ගන්න ඕනේ. ආ බුදියගෙන භාවනා කරන්න. අන්තර කොටේ හදන්න බුදිය ගන්නවා. බුදියන අපිට භාවනා කාට දෙන්න නැත්නම් කරවනවා. ඒකට ලෙවල්ලා කපයි කියලා බයයි කියනවා. Okay.
Okay, we have a question here. Venerable Sir, it was said that you talked about ekaggata. I don't understand the concept of ekaggata because on the other hand you said everything is changing and impermanent. So how can there be ekaggata?
So the question is regarding the ekaggata. Ekaggata is the opposite of kama guna. That means the varietal entertainment of objects. When we see the eye, we have different colors and different shapes. We are always changing it. When, as far as the sounds are concerned, we have Western music, Eastern music, bird music, everything. We are always entertaining. As far as the nose is concerned, different smells. Taste is concerned, different tastes. And comfort is concerned, different chairs, different cushions and everything. And the mind is concerned, different pet ideas. That is called kama guna. That is the way we call we are rich. Opposite of it is abiding by one single object. That is called ekaggata. So in order to explain this duality as well as to open the unknown part of our mind, Buddha is inviting us to avoid kama guna, that means variety entertainment, instead try to be with one single object. That very object or focusing to one particular object is called ekaggata, and that has different evolutional stages. So just understand ekaggata is the opposite of kama guna or sensuous gratification. So spiritual path is starting with ekaggata.
Can I ask something about the karma guna? Why have we 5 strands of sensuality and 6 senses?
Yeah.
And only 5 karma guna?
Can you say what do you mean by 6 senses?
The eye, ear, nose, tongue, body and the mind is also called a sense in this sense. But we have only the 5 pleasures.
That is, as far as the kama guna is concerned, that materiality wise 5. Rupa, Saddha, Gandha, Rasa, Sparsha. That means visual objects, sounds, smell, taste and the contact. The mental part is pet ideas, your thoughts. So we are always changing it. So therefore, material wise, so amisa wise 5, but the mental wise 1, that is called mind faculty, it is your pet thoughts, your likings and disliking. These are the object for the mind. That's also part and parcel of the karma guna, but it is not come to the materialistic side. Usually it's called pancha karma guna, five objects, because we are fighting, jealous and everything on the five materialistic side. The mental part, we are not fighting each other.
So when in jhana you say that you come to a state of ekaggata, so how does that explain it being with one object, is it?
That you are deciding. Whenever you are practicing jhana, avoiding all the varietal entertainment, you select one particular object. When and where you associate that object and enter into that object, we call absorption. Close association is called access concentration. That means you take that particular thing as a benchmark, you take that particular thing as a reference point, you take that particular thing as object, and repetitive application, you develop kind of a relationship. So that you are face to face with that particular object, that's what we call ekaggata. If you are going to the jhana or not, association with one particular object, as far as you know it, you get the benefits. I don't know whether I have directly answered to your question. If so, you have to raise the question with this background I have given.
So, if there are no thoughts, so in a retreat, most of the time there are no thoughts in your mind, occasional thoughts. Does that mean that your mind has come into ekaggata?
Of course, at the beginning, we are dealing with the materialistic side. Closing your eyes, you are doing away with the visual objects. Going to a silent place, you do away with the sounds. Nose and tongue are least attacking senses in the meditation. Then only you are left with your sensation. And in the meditation as such, for example, sitting and walking, we are dealing with that touch. Whenever mind is focused or avenue or face to face with one single object, that we call mind is now ekaggata. That means your mental aspects or daydreaming, fantasizing also calm down together with. Therefore, even though you are not taking a special effort to calm down your thinking faculty, as far as the materialistic side is becoming calm, settled, the mind also becomes settled, and that is also become part and parcel of the ekaggata. Some people instead monitor the mind, monitor the meditation, monitor the mindfulness with respect to the thoughts. So this question is with that. So when and where the mind is calmed down and there is no distracting thought, that to say daydreaming, fantasizing and any other mental thoughts, that's also an indication the mind is settled. It's called pasambhayam. Pasambhayam means settle down. So some teachers accordingly teaching chitta anupassana, don't worry about the materialistic side. You can directly start with these thoughts. Don't fight with thoughts, let them calm down, and you can monitor your ekaggata with respect to the thoughts. So that is also valid. But Satipatthana Sutta, you are being asked first do with the materialistic side, then expect the mental side. Next question.
Next question. So next question is, Reza, it is said that detachment brings peace. detachment as a good thing. My question is, can one be detached and still be an affectionate person?
Still be?
Affectionate.
Affectionate. Detachments are three in kind: physical detachment, and mental detachment, and then detachment from the subtle defilements. Kaya viveka, chitta viveka, upadi viveka. So which detachment is referred is not clear. So please be specific as to what detachment you are talking about. Then we can understand or we can analyze the question. Otherwise this cross terminology won't help us to give enough information for the analysis.
I don't know whose question it is.
So anyone who is serious about that, please define what kind of a detachment you are mentioning about, talking about.
Upadi.
The Upadi Viveka is there. There is no any kind of affection, any kind of emotional, any kind of mental coloration cannot happen, because that is what we call Upadi. So if you are detached from that, that cannot entertain again affection or any mental emotion or coloration.
Bhante, is Kama Guna the same as Nivarana?
No. Kama Guna is that the material itself. Nivarana means their perception. Kama Sanya.
Kama Sanya is the same as Nivarana.
Yeah.
When does one feel chitta viveka?
When you would with one single object.
When?
When you are face to face it, when you are avenued with, when you are friendly with one single object, that is called Chitta Viveka.
It's not clear.
Gestern ging es, sprach Bhante auch über dieses Hobby-Buddhismus viel da. Und die Übersetzung war, glaube ich, nicht ganz korrekt. Ob er das nochmal
Hobby-Buddhismus?
erzählen könnte kurz und du übersetzt es denn? Oder wenn du es noch genau weißt, kannst du es auch gleich.
Ich kann mich nicht erinnern. Was war die Frage nochmal genau?
Ja, es ging irgendwie... Michael.
Gestern im Vortrag.
When meditating, when having awareness to an object without sampajana, then meditation is more like a hobby.
Hobby,
That
okay.
was the phrase, yeah.
Also, auch in diesem Kontext, wo er empfohlen hat, nicht so sich zu verbeißen oder ja, das nicht so sich so ernst zu nehmen, dass es das eine Tortur wird oder sowas in der Richtung. Also ich glaube, das hängt damit zusammen.
Yeah, I can't remember, but she said yesterday you said something about sati sampajanya, that some have sati but no sampajanya, and also that about hobby Buddhists who don't take it. She says now, if you take it too serious, you remember what that was at the Dhamma talk yesterday?
Yeah. What is the question?
The question is what you meant with hobby Buddhists. If you only have sati and not sampajanya, what the meaning was. She didn't understand it completely.
So I am repeating the same. Sati Sampajanya are two terms almost mentioned as a couple terms. Sati Sampajanya. Sati is the mindfulness, Sampajanya is very comprehension, awareness that I am mindful. So whenever you become sati, you may be sampajanya or not. So I just wanted to clarify the point. We may be in mindful, but we do not know. Under such circumstances, we are worrying, we are regimenting, we are not happy, we are always asking how to be perfect. But instead, if you know sati and you are clearly aware, Now I am in mindfulness. When and where that happens, that sati and sampajanya goes together, definitely there is a one particular aspect, it is ever growing. You understand, from yesterday to today, today to tomorrow, mindfulness is growing. Your sampajanya always gives the book account and says now it's growing. As far as you know it is growing, you will never make grumble, you will never make questions. You will be appreciating so that you will be entertaining just like a hobby.
But that was the material. Did you understand?
Ich habe es trotzdem gehabt.
Ja, also Sati Sampajanya, es sind zwei Begriffe, die fast das gleiche bedeuten. Sati ist eben die Achtsamkeit und Sampajanya ist, dass du weißt, du bist achtsam. Und man kann entweder achtsam sein, nur achtsam, oder du bist achtsam und du bist dir dessen bewusst. Wenn du jetzt nur achtsam bist, kann es sein, das hat er damit gemeint mit dem Hobby-Buddhist. Du versuchst immer achtsam zu sein, und falls es dir irgendwann mal nicht gelingt, achtsam zu sein, dann ärgerst du dich darüber. Oder du versuchst zu stark immer wieder in die Achtsamkeit reinzukommen. Im anderen Fall, falls das die Achtsamkeit mit dem Bewusstsein ist, dann entwickelst du dich immer weiter. Ganz egal, also wenn auch die Achtsamkeit irgendwann verloren geht, du bist trotzdem bewusst, was passiert in deinem Geist. Und wenn die Achtsamkeit mit dem Bewusstsein zusammenkommt, dann gehst du immer weiter. Also du machst immer Fortschritt, ganz egal wohin diese Achtsamkeit dann gerichtet ist. Also die beiden sollten immer zusammen im Geist sein. Nur Sati, nur Achtsamkeit ohne Sampajanya kann einem dann passieren, dass du dich zu überanstrengst oder du versuchst zu stark achtsam zu sein, aber die Weisheit fehlt dabei. Okay? Yeah. There's one question, but I can't read this writing, but there's a name down there. It's in English, but can you read it? It's very beautiful handwriting, but difficult to read. Is a name down there? Maybe we can ask.
Manil, someone has written this question, if he can read it.
Who is in it?
Who has written this question, please?
Is it in English or?
It's in English,
English.
Yeah,
Manil or something?
My goodness. This is what?
it's difficult. Let us.
Who wrote this?
Not I. I had to leave the retreat today, and I wish to say thank you, Bhante, for your mind-opening teachings.
Is it Peggy?
The fabulous,
He will come back.
the fabulous Sangha for the support, and of course the house team for all the work and the yummy food. I hope we soon meet again.
Who was that?
Well and happy. Thanks.
Thanks.
No name.
No
Muriel.
name.
Muriel
Muriel.
Maybe someone is leaving. It is not a question.
No, it's not a question.
Tamal.
Thomas. He left yesterday, didn't he?
Yeah.
Maybe, yeah.
Well, I don't know. That's the note.
Yeah.
Okay.
Anyway, it is not a
Thanks.
question. It's just a
I wrote a question
today.
yesterday afternoon.
Bhante, before that, can I ask you, sati is sometimes coupled with panya as well. Sati panya. Can you tell us
That
something?
is all sati sampajanya.
It's the same as sati sampajanya.
Once I remember you saying about the Malgomu and the beast coming.
It is vitakka vichara.
Sorry?
It is about vitakka vichara.
You had a question?
My
But it
question
already-
was about.
She has a question.
We can take this.
Yeah, my prashna.
There are two on the
Black
side.
cushion, on the black cushion there.
I left
Cushion?
two of us.
Do you want to pronounce the question?
No, there was somebody.
She wrote 2 questions and I've left it to.
No, that was read.
That
Ah,
That was read.
For you.
me?
Yeah.
No, I asked you about Sati Panya.
All right, it's okay.
It's the same thing you said.
I was
But you
searching
said
about
there's a question.
this is already. Yeah.
My question was about Upekka and Adukkama Sukha. Now, Adukkama Sukha, as I understand it, is relates to feeling, Vedana. It can be, it's the neutral. Now, Upekka, you said, has can relate to all 10, the 5 aggregates and can be 10 forms. You mentioned 5 and I wanted it clarified. I didn't quite get the difference.
So if you can tell me what you have got it already, then I will be better.
What I got was I understood about Adukkama Sukha, and you said that Upekka can be uh, Rupa, Vedana, Sanya, Sankara, Vijnana. It can apply to all 5 of those. But what are the 10 ways it applies?
That you wanted to have 5 to 10 expansion.
Yes.
So I have to refer to a book and see. I can't remember the completion. That I have to give. I have to refer to the Visuddhimagga.
All right, okay.
Vibhanga, I thought you wanted to know how the Adukkama Sukha in the Vedana differs, whether it is the same, Upekka is the same as the Adukkama Sukha. Is that what you want?
No, if Upekka relates to the 5 aggregates, Vedana is just one, isn't it? Vedana is it can't be, Upekka, Adukkama Sukha can't relate to the other 5. It's only related to
No, I
Vedana.
thought you only wanted to know that for the Vedana. I might have got it wrong.
So we have more time if you have any other question. Yeah.
Kann mich noch nicht an die Begriffe erinnern. Es ging doch eben um die Achtsamkeit und das Bewusstsein der Achtsamkeit.
Ja.
Also wenn man sich der Achtsamkeit, also wenn man in einem, ich sage jetzt mal, Zustand ist, wo man sich der Achtsamkeit bewusst ist und die Achtsamkeit denn, sag ich mal, mehr auf der Schwerpunkt darauf liegt, dass man sich dessen bewusst ist. Also mehr in diese Richtung tendiert als auf der direkten Achtsamkeit. Ist das, wenn dem so wäre das falsch oder nicht?
Yeah, she asked again about the sati sampajanya. What do you actually do then in practice? You try to be mindful with sati. So how do you get the sampajanya? Or if you're just mindful, if only the sati is there, if you do anything wrong there? Again, about these 2 terms he's asking.
So it's a practical part. So I would like that our young brother can give me some answers so that it will answer her question as well as his question. Can you come here? Did you practice little meditation?
Yes, I tried.
So how many seconds or how many minutes you can be aware that I am sitting?
So I try to practice this with concentrate on my breathe. So I tried it and it worked, I guess, for more or less 2 minutes. And after that, my thoughts went to my friends, to what's happening in the next days and stuff like this.
I am repeating, when you are focusing your breath, you can be with the breath for about 2 minutes and then mind start wandering with the other kind of. When you are in the breath, how do you know you are in the breath?
First, I said in my mind, I'm breathing in and out, so that I focus on it. And after a few times, it was easy to just breathe. So I don't know how to describe. It's just I was concentrated and did nothing. So
my question is, when you are in the breath, how do you verify? How do you make sure my mind is not past, my mind is not future, my mind is not the friends, but it is with the breath? That verification part is what you call sampajanya.
okay.
So er hat jetzt gesagt, dass deine Frage kann er gleich beantworten, indem er ihn fragt, wie seine Meditation war. Und du hast jetzt gesagt, also zuerst die 2 Minuten oder so warst du achtsam, du hast gewusst, du atmest ein und aus, oder die Achtsamkeit war auf dem Atem. Und danach war das mehr automatisch und du warst achtsam, aber der Geist war auch woanders, ne? Andere Gedanken sind reingekommen. Und er sagt ihm jetzt, wenn du jetzt achtsam bist auf einem Objekt und du weißt, jetzt beobachte ich meinen Atem, dann, das ist Sampajanya. Also das ist Sati und Sampajanya. Das ist Achtsamkeit und auch das Bewusstsein, dass ich jetzt meinen Atem beobachte. Wenn du nur achtsam bist auf irgendwas, was gerade passiert, ohne genau bewusst zu sein, dass du jetzt achtsam bist auf das und das, dann fehlt das Sampajanya. Also nur wenn beide zusammenkommen, dann ist Sati Sampajanya und dann geht es wirklich weiter in der Meditation. Okay?
So that's the basics of meditation.
Yeah, no, I would like to keep you there and have a discussion. When we are in a dream, sleeping, we can be aware that we are breathing like, but it's a dream. You are dreamt, you are in a dream. You feel like you are meditating but it is not real breath. Your mind is imagining you are in the breath. Now you are sitting, you are in the breath really, and mind knows verily, now you are in the breath. So these are the two things the Buddha wanted to make sure. You may be imagining, thinking you are concentrated. You may be imagining, thinking you are in the breath, one thing. The other one is you are really in the breath. You can verify. That verification factor course, you can feel the touch. You can feel the length of the rubbing sensation. You can feel the coldness. You can feel the heatness. So as far as you are not giving your under the nose experience, even though you say 2 minutes you are with the breath, I don't believe.
No. I read about that in the book you gave me.
Yeah.
So that when I'm concentrating in my breath, the next step is to just concentrate on the different types of breath, to breathe in and out. So
now can you give me, you are in the breath, you are not the past, you are not the future, you are not the friends, with the breath. In the breath, this is in breath, this is out breath.
Yeah, of course.
And when you are in the out breath, it is not in breath.
What?
When you are in the out breath,
wenn du ausatmest, dann weißt du, es ist nicht das Einatmen.
Yes.
When you are in the in breath, you are not in the out breath.
Yes, that's different types.
That is called sampajanya. You can tell with your experience, your witness, exactly when in breath I feel cool, I will touch here. When in the out breath I feel warm, I will touch there. So I can believe, I really trust you because you give evidence.
What means evidence?
Er sagt ihm, dass, nochmal mit dem Sati Sampajanya, die Frage war zuerst, was wäre, wenn du in einem Traum wärst und du bildest da ein, du atmest. Das ist aber nicht wirklich Sati, weil es nicht wirklich passiert, du bildest dir das nur ein. Wenn du jetzt aber wirklich da sitzt und meditierst und du beobachtest deinen Atem, du bist achtsam und du bist dir dessen bewusst und dann kommt Sati Sampajanya zusammen. Und um das zu überprüfen, ist eben der Touch,
Touching sensation.
Hab's schon
Sag mal auf
verstanden.
Deutsch.
Das Gefühl in der
Das
Nase.
Gefühl,
ja.
das Gefühl. Also du spürst, dass der Atem da rein und raus geht, du spürst, dass das Gefühl ist da. Das ist dann der Beweis, dass da auch Sampajanya dabei ist. Und das ist die Bestätigung, dass du es richtig machst. Also das körperliche Gefühl gibt dir den Beweis, dass du es richtig machst. Also du beobachtest das Gefühl, du schaust, geht rein, raus. Ich beobachte meinen Atem und ich bin mir dessen bewusst. Also kommen beide zusammen.
Okay, but in fact, it's like when I tried it again after a few moments, it's just when I hear something, so a car drives here, or I can feel my cold breath and my warm breath in my nose, but also notice that there is a car which is driving. So is this normal or not normal? I don't know.
It's a very good advanced stage because you know what you are purposefully focusing is the breath. Invariably other sounds also coming, some external sounds coming, but your main focus is your breath. Even the sound comes, you can be with the breath. That means you are fairly anchored on the breath. Okay, I am going to discuss further. Now you are sitting. You are sitting. And if you wish to verify you are sitting, you may explain where the touching happens. Understand? Now you are sitting, you are verifying your sit because you feel touching.
Yes.
When you are walking, you feel touch.
Yes.
What is the difference sitting touch and the walking touch?
No.
Sitting meditation touching and the walking meditation touching.
So while walking, it's just you just touch the floor with your feet, and while
Yes.
sitting, you touch it with your feet, with your legs.
So this is what we call in the meditation interviews, the Berlin is the worst place. No one give experience. They are talking about the theories. You would have gone to other places, they are reporting, when I am breathing, I feel this. When I out breathe that. When I walk this, that. Then it is very easy for me to understand.
Okay.
But many questions appeared in the Berlin is always theory only. No practice. So then we are just in sky. We can't verify. So that is why I am again and again telling, when you are telling something, you have to give evidence, you have to give your witness, your verification, then the communication is very straightforward. I understand, I can feel. You are sitting, you feel the pressure here. When you are walking, you feel the pressure at the sole. When you are touching, you feel the pressure here. So likewise, when and where you experience, when and where you touch, if you can verify, if you can write them, if you can put into your meditation report, you are very fast in meditation. Very easily you can catch meditation. Even without any book knowledge.
So when I'm meditating and after that I write on what I'm
That is the best.
Okay.
If you can, and if the other person can read it and get the communication, then the progress is very fast. There is a method to write. I sit, I focus my attention to the in-breath, I felt cold. I felt that then the out-breath happened, I focus my attention, I feel the warmth. When I am sitting, these are the touching points. I get up and go, and then these are the touching points. Like if you can give as much as possible the touch under the nose experience, you will be catching very fast in meditation. So that is, I found, very easy with young people.
Okay.
Old people told cock and bull stories. They want to know what the Buddha says and what the Buddha going to say and what the past Buddha says, but never talk about their practice. So that is why I am happy with the young children. When they are teaching, they are really give the They are direct touch, direct experience, and very easy to guide. So therefore, I am very happy retreat you are with us.
Thank you.
That's the best thing I saw. And you never come here for meditation, you just came for a project. But anyway, staying with us and coming and giving the direct experience is a very clear role model for these old people. When I was in Sri Lanka, I have 60 people. All are Kokkalbur stories. Some school children come, only 4 children. They come, they present it. They say, this is what I did, this is the in-breath, this is out-breath, this is what I walk. 4 days. Young girls about 8 years, 10 years, 12 years. The elderly people got amazed to see how much crispy, how much clearly they give the report. Ultimately, they gave a scholarship for all the 4 children. So I will take whole expenditure for you, because if you can catch in the younger stage like that, what a kind of blessing for your life. But the elderly people are full of other things in the mind. They never meditate. That this lady is always sleeping.
Okay. I have another easy question.
Yeah.
I read in the book you gave me the full lotus seed and the half lotus, and so that's the full, or
That's the
No,
half.
this is a
No,
quarter
this
lotus.
is not lotus.
This
Okay.
is quarter lotus.
okay, and what's the full and half?
So that full lotus, you have to take the right leg first.
Half lotus is 1 foot up.
No, this is the full lotus.
This is the full both up. Half lotus is 1 side up, 1 down. Yeah, that would be half.
Don't torture yourself, eh?
And this is called the easy posture. This is
Sukhasana.
both down, Sukhasana.
And the half lotus.
I'm a football player. I don't have to.
No, you have to try. It got 30 years for me.
Some yoga.
30
If you
years.
do yoga, that helps. No? That's easier.
And this is half lotus.
Okay.
And then you can go for the quarter lotus, the Sukhasana. But the basic thing is your upper part of the body must be erect. And you see all the people are inclining out the walls.
To lean on.
If there are no walls, they would have been enlightened. Unlucky enough for walls.
Okay.
So I really appreciate your presence.
Yes. Thank you.
So Sampajanya means when you are breathing, you know you are not with the rising and falling. You are not with the past, you are not the future. And then you can say the breath, this is in-breath, not the out-breath, this is out-breath, not the in-breath. When you are walking, you know you are not sitting, you are not sleeping, you are not standing. So you have to write it in a crispy way. That means you are not only sati, you are sampajanya, that means clearly comprehension. So without that, what we are talking is just gossiping. No one can verify it. So take long time.
Okay. I will try it.
Yeah, try to continue.
So here you can consult him. He can help you. By the way, you have to write email. I also can take time for that.
Okay, keep going.
That was a part of my question that I forgot to ask. Now, upekka, you said, can be applied to perception. Now, if we apply upekka to perception, can we stop it from going to sankhara?
If you can apply upekka.
At sanya level, perception level, if there is equanimity at that stage, will it not proceed to sankhara level?
No, it can, but it is not. It can happen, but you have no choice.
So
These are there you have no choice. You can't do it. This can happen whenever the upekka happen with respect to the feeling. Upekka with respect to the sanya also automatically happening.
yes.
Whenever upekka with the feeling happen, upekka with respect to the sankhara already happening. It's an automatic thing. You have no choice. Everything happening in the Not in a linear method, it's happening in a matrix way. When one thing go to Upekha, it is taking care of the whole kind of wave. You have to do nothing one by one.
There is no way you can stop the process at the perception level.
You have no choice, because you mean whenever you come into being, everything in a mess. Whenever you try to do, that's the worst thing for the meditation. We take care about the primary object. When your primary object started to calm down, everything happens. That's one way of presenting. There may be other ways of presenting also. But it's a universal way of presenting. When and where you are, once you selected the primary object, when the primary object is mastered, when it will become calm, when it becomes subtle, promote it. Don't think. Every thinking is a distraction. That is why your teacher is always try to talk too much. Because your book knowledge is disturbing you. You are not, how do you call, humble. You are not innocent, arrogant. Arrogance is your theory knowledge. If you have no theory knowledge, you are very, how do you call, innocent.
Simple.
Innocent.
Yeah, innocent.
Innocent. Then when you are innocent, you are back at the paradise. Very difficult.
Sir, when you have sati, automatically you are also aware of impermanence. Say a thought comes and it ends. I thought that was what was called satipanya.
That may be, but the thing is, when you become mindful, if you know you are mindful, that is called sampajanya or panya. Then other thing can happen. Other, the three characteristics can happen, the leading to upekha can happen, the concentration can happen, but there is no choice for you. It is beyond your control. Only you have to take care about the sati at the beginning, and when and where you become sati, if you appreciate it, you know you are mindful, it's almost like nibbana. Without knowing that, whatever the theoretical understand, whatever the super formulas you are going to apply, indicate you are arrogant. You are not innocent. You are not simple. You are not direct. So much so path is complicated.
Can I ask a question? If we have to be aware, if we, kann ich das auf Deutsch sagen? Diese beiden Sachen, einmal die Aufmerksamkeit und dann zum Zweiten das Bewusstsein darüber. Muss man sich das so vorstellen, dass das wie zwei Stränge sind, die nebeneinander permanent laufen, oder ist das eine Art punktuelles Geschehen?
She is asking again about Sati Sampajanya. Can we understand that these both run parallel, or should they both come together?
No, it is a punctual.
Sag auf Deutsch.
Also punktuell, ob das sozusagen ab und zu denke ich daran, dass ich mir dessen bewusst bin, oder denke ich die ganze Zeit darüber?
If this happens from time to time, they both come together, or should they both together be together all the time? No? Okay.
Sati Sampajanya, sati is your responsibility as far as you are fulfilling the sati, as far as you are facilitating the sati. Sampajanya naturally come and sets in. Only you have to be aware. So therefore, active part in sati sampajanya is only the sati. When and where sati catch the momentum, when and where sati become accelerated, then sampajanya come and sets in. And if you know this is sampajanya, it's a really boosting of your determination, it's a boosting of your shraddha. So therefore, when and where you recognize, now I am not only with sati, sampajanya also comes, That means your acceleration, your fast growing is very, very clear.
Is it then that only if the practice gets better, then they both come together, or?
So it's something endowment, it's something
Coming.
blessing for you.
Ja, ja, ja. Er sagt, wenn du praktizierst, zuerst bist du nur mal achtsam. Du weißt, ich bin jetzt achtsam. Wenn da das volle Bewusstsein dazu kommt, jetzt bin ich wirklich voll achtsam auf meinem Atem, das gibt dir einen Schubs Richtung Entwicklung. Das ist ein zusätzlicher Bonus. Wenn die Achtsamkeit stärker wird, dann kommt das Sampajanya, das Bewusstsein dazu. Okay.
I am going to give another social example. In Sri Lanka, we had a very severe civil war. As far as there, no peace. Now, after the war, peace is there. When the peace happens, economic development happens. Without peace, no economic development. So when and peace is there, you know now economic development going to happen, so people are ready to invest and economic development can happen. Peace is like what you have to earn by war or whatever maybe, that's like sati. Sampajanya is when and where the peace is there, the economic development can take place. That is just like a blessing, just like a sampajanya.
Ich versuche auch lieber auf Deutsch.
Ja, okay.
Vorhin wurde er gefragt, ob er, wenn er beim Einatmen, also oder beim Ausatmen sich dessen bewusst ist, ob er gleichzeitig weiß, dass er nicht einatmet irgendwie. Also da bin ich mir jetzt nicht sicher, was der Sinn dahinter steckt, mir immer dem bewusst zu sein, was ich nicht tue. Also ich habe immer gedacht, es ist wichtig zu wissen, was ich tue, mit dem achtsam zu sein, aber wenn ich immer darauf achte, was ich alles gerade nicht noch tue, da kommst du kaum noch dazu, irgendwie bei dem zu sein, was ist. Oder?
He is asking about, you ask him about the breath again. When you are mindful that you are breathing in and out, and then after that you said, when you breathe in, you know you're not breathing out. So he's asking what's the point of being aware of things which you don't do. He thought mindfulness means you should be fully aware of what you're doing in this moment.
This is about the discrete knowledge, delimited knowledge. You take knowledge in bits wise. It is like a packets. In-breath understanding is completely different from out-breath understanding, like a computer data chips. So that clarity is utmost necessary for you to understand dependent origination.
Die Idee war, dass das ist die zweite Stufe. Also das erste Mal bei der Meditation ist, du bist dir bewusst, ich atme ein und aus, ein und aus. Zweite Stufe ist, wenn die Achtsamkeit dann noch stärker wird, du bist voll bewusst, jetzt atme ich ein. Also du bist dir voll bewusst, jetzt atme ich ein. Wenn du ausatmest, du bist dir voll bewusst, jetzt atme ich aus. Also das ist die nächste Stufe. Wenn die Achtsamkeit noch stärker wird, dann merkst du ganz genau, jetzt kommt es rein, jetzt geht es raus. Nächste Stufe wäre dann, du bist dir voll bewusst über den Atemkörper, sagen sie. Also du merkst den Anfang und das Ende von der Einatmung. Das sind die Stufen, wie die Achtsamkeit immer stärker wird. Okay?
I have some more. To elaborate it, it says in the Vipassana Jnana, first foremost is to Namarupa Parichcheda Jnana. Parichcheda means discrete understanding, separation, delimited. And then only Paccayaparikkha Jnana. Paccayaparikkha Jnana means Patichcha Samuppada. Without Namarupa Parichcheda Jnana, Paccayaparikkha Jnana cannot happen. So your data incoming, everything must be cut into pieces. That is thin slicing of time and resolution, pixel-wise resolution. Then the analysis will never get mixed up. Easily you can see the chain reaction. Easily you can see cause and effect relationship. So when and where so much of data coming, no kind of a discrete understanding, data become a burden to you. You can't analyze it. So the Buddha is the first person talk about the reductionism. reduced into a simple tiny pieces of information. That information is you can do in analyze it in a very sub-objective way. Then easy for you to see cause and effect relationship, impermanent nature, suffering nature. As far as you are doing with a lot of information agglomerated, maybe it's a mental game, maybe it's a psychological game. But when it comes to the tiny little particles and when it is discreted, it's a very sharp, it's very clear, communication also clear, and leading definitely to the cause and effect as well as other characteristics. So therefore this reductionism is nothing but physics.
Hast du das verstanden? Das war so wie viele Fragen. Na, er hat gesagt, durch diese Achtsamkeit und du konzentrierst dich auf einen kleinen Teil. Also wenn die Achtsamkeit immer schärfer wird, dann merkst du, jetzt atme ich ein, jetzt atme ich aus. Du reduzierst praktisch deine Eindrücke auf immer weniger. Dadurch kannst du das Dhamma wirklich verstehen und wirklich dann auch analysieren, wie alles entsteht und vergeht. Und er sagt, das ist der einzige Weg. Es gibt keinen anderen Weg, die ganze Lehre jetzt vom Buddhismus zu verstehen. Also es geht nur durch deine eigene Erfahrung, immer weniger, immer stärker wahrzunehmen. Was er called Reductionism, also du reduzierst deine Eindrücke auf immer weniger und bist dir dessen immer stärker und stärker bewusst. Also du fängst an, meditierst du selber?
Ja, jetzt 15 Jahre.
Ah, okay, ja, schon lange Zeit. Also zuerst fängst du an mit dem Atem und dann nur der Einatmen, dann merkst du den ganzen Atemkörper. Du gehst immer tiefer und tiefer rein auf weniger Details und siehst die immer klarer dann. Yeah, he says he meditates since 15 years. So he's meditating since 15 years.
Question?
Yes, and what's the next part of meditation? So after I feel my breath and the warm and the cold,
the next step.
Go deeper. What's the next step?
Whenever you just reported 2 minutes, you can be breath with face to face. You can breathe with the breath for about 2 minutes. You just reported. Okay?
No, sorry.
You just hear, you told, you can be with the breath for 2 minutes.
Yes.
Okay. Next thing is, try to make it 3 minutes.
Okay.
4 minutes, 5 minutes. That's a quantity wise you are increasing. One thing. Second thing is, look at the breath very closely. What is the difference between in-breath and out-breath? So then you can see individual characteristics or intrinsic characteristic or personal characteristics of the in-breath versus out-breath. So when you are making the list, this is in-breath, it's a cooler, it's a longer, it's a very rough, and this out-breath, it's a warmer, maybe cooler or longer or shorter. More and more information you get, that means your observation is very close. These two is the forward path.
Hast du verstanden? Oder? Ja, he understood.
Thank you. When I do walking meditation and try to be aware of the posture, I recognize also the touch of the feet, sometimes for only one step before I recognize my thoughts, come back, I'm happy, and go further. Sometimes I can go a whole lane without disturbance, sometimes two, sometimes I have always thoughts. Sometimes I recognize the posture by the moving of the legs also. And as you recommended, when I cannot get rid of thoughts, then I do the left, right, and then the touching sensation becomes prominent, set it down.
So what's the question or statement?
This is reporting.
To analyze that kind of thing, when you are doing walking, and he also tried to mention, while you are breathing, you can hear the vehicles are going, sounds are happening. And while you are attentive on the breathing, in his case, you can feel touching sensation of the ground, you can feel thoughts. In walking also you can feel the soul, meanwhile you can see thinking, thoughts, sounds. The example given is when you are driving, you are supposed to look through the windscreen. But the side screens also show something. Side glass also shows something. But you have to understand, mainly you must be with the windscreen. Occasionally you can look at from the side glass or windows, and if you are specifically in a busy street, if you are driving from the side glasses, you are definitely going to knock someone. So therefore primary object is just like the windscreen. When there are no the busyness in the street, no vehicles, you can directly go with the full speed. But a lot of vehicles are happening, streets are very distributed and the people are there, you have to take all accounts not to meet up with an accident. Then you can see very slow speed. But as far as you are not knocking someone, you are a good driver. So therefore other distractions must be there, but you must understand the value of the primary object, because this is your safeguard. But don't ignore the other things. Thoughts are coming, sounds are coming, they will come, but you must give the priority to the primary object. So much so, less amount of accidents, but the speed is low. So he is the first, came one day, and he reports while he is breathing, he can hear the sounds of the car. But if it is not disturbing, but still he can keep the track with the breath, that is your skillfulness. You are a good driver.
In regard to sounds or maybe visual objects, they are not so disturbing as thoughts.
Yeah.
That's my impression.
It depends on our likings and disliking. So we can't expect single object. This is not natural. Always multiple object. Only you have to select either prominent object as the primary object. Take refuge. Don't expect other object to not to appear, because it is not natural. Whenever such a challenge happens, if you are resolute, my refuge is in the primary object, less accidents. If you are bewildered, where to go, whether should I go to the sound or whether should I go to the in-breath and out-breath, then you have to clear your mind to take the resolution, to take primary object as the refuge, specifically as a beginner. But I have to tell, when and where you develop good confidence, good resolution, whether you are the primary object or secondary object, if they have no doubts, you will not be hesitant. You will be full of energy, full of confidence, you can go. Till that energy comes, till that confidence happens, take primary object as a the refuge. It's called, Buddha says, as an oasis or your benchmark or your reference point. But after a while, mind you, you can put the machine into the autopiloting. Any object can happen, you are not carried away, you know. Once that happens, don't give more priority to the primary object, then your confidence is happening. That's called resolution can happen. Then primary object is no more much of a serious thing. But till that, you have to do. So, as a beginner, it is safe to say, take the primary object as the pivotal thing and go there. Don't suppress others, they may come. But whenever problem happens, go back to the primary object. If it's necessary, you can keep on noting in order to keep primary object in view with.
A question about walking meditation. I read your instruction in your book, but I tried to experiment somehow, and for me it's easier to walk for a long distance with the hands not bind together, and to walk in normal tempo or not slow, fast. So could you comment on that? What is useful to use the instructions?
This is regarding walking meditation. It is generally given the basic instruction. It says when you are doing walking meditation, do it in a little slow way. Bind your hands either front or in behind, and focus somewhere around 6 feet. That's the general instructions. That's the starting instructions. So once you develop certain amount of these parameters, and when and where you comes to know the early signs of mindfulness, then you must relax it and say, whatever the speed, whatever the way you keep your hands, whatever the distance conducive for mindfulness, you must adjust. Because your mindfulness is the main product in the walking meditation. That very understanding whether you are just following the instructions or whether you are facilitating mindfulness is what you call sampajanya. That's what you call, you know how to foster, you know how to facilitate, you know how to support mindfulness. So therefore, beginner-wise, we take little slow pace, look 6 feet maybe, keep your hand in front or behind bind, and go for 30 steps like. So therefore, you have your value judgment, whether they are conducive for your mindfulness, and then onward, don't worry much about the criterion, take care of the mindfulness. In order to facilitate mindfulness, you must have clear comprehension, you must have sampajanya, you must have your experience, and then onward, you are adjusting in such a way so your mindfulness will be catching. Maybe longer distance, maybe a fast walking, maybe a hand moving, whatever may be. If the mindfulness is catching, you get your license.
Okay. Now he said that that is the general instruction, to walk slowly and interlock your arms. Or this is the general instruction for... Sorry. Das sind die allgemeinen Anweisungen, wie man anfängt. Also das langsam auf und ab gehen und die Arme verschränken und wie weit man nach vorne schauen soll. Das sind die allgemeinen Anweisungen, wie man normalerweise anfängt. Und dann, wenn du merkst, dass das anders für dich besser funktioniert, dann sollst du das abändern. Das nennt man Weisheit. Das ist dann die Weisheit oder Sampajanya. Wenn du sagst, für mich funktioniert das so und so aber besser, dann mache ich das ein bisschen anders. Genauso sollst du das dann machen. Also die erste Autorität ist deine Erfahrung und nicht die allgemeinen Anweisungen, wie man anfängt. Also wenn das für dich irgendwie, du hast ein paar Veränderungen gemacht, das funktioniert für dich, dann sollst du dabei bleiben.
I am giving another example. In Sri Lanka or in our countries, mothers take babies and lullabying to make baby sleep. When the baby is ready or when the mother is ready, they start. Usually, what they do is they stretch their legs and keep the baby here, and then start lullabying and doing all the kind of things. So at the beginning, baby is not ready to sleep. It's jumping here and there. So we have to give a plaything and kind of thing. When and where mother is starting the lullabying, at the time now mothers knows that baby is calming down. The sleepiness is sets in. When that happens, her lullaby is slowly reducing. As the baby goes into sleep, the lullaby is reducing. That not with the consultation with the baby. That's called mother's knowledge. That is what you call sampajanya. You understand?
Ja. Also er gibt einen anderen Vergleich. Er gibt einen anderen Vergleich, er sagt, in Sri Lanka ist es so, die Mütter, die legen das Baby auf den Schoß und schaukeln das hin und her, bis es einschläft. und singen was dazu oder summen was dazu. Und wenn die Mutter dann merkt, dass das Baby schläft schon fast ein, dann macht sie langsamer, dann schaukelt sie weniger und dann hört sie irgendwann auf, wenn das Baby ganz eingeschlafen ist. Und er sagt, das nennt man die Sampajanya oder die Weisheit der Mutter. Also nicht, dass sie immer gleich weitermacht, ohne darauf zu achten, was mit dem Baby passiert. Und genauso ist es da mit diesen Anweisungen. So fängt man an und dann schaut man, was funktioniert, wie passt das, wie geht es weiter und demgemäß veränderst du dann die Methoden, ne, die du verwendest.
Anything else? No more questions. No more questions.
Sir, I have a theoretical question.
Yeah.
You said, I think 2 days ago at the Dhamma talk about ignorance and sankhara. If again in a retreat situation, if the sankhara or the thoughts reduce, does that mean the ignorance is reducing as well at the same time?
So as far as the Vichabaccha Sankara, this is the yes answer you have to tell. When and where your mind is full of ignorance and darkness, it's uncertainty, fear, everything happens. So Sankaras are churning, it's going on proliferate. When and where you develop confidence and the mindfulness is taking the role of the Sankara, you do something under your very nose, no doubts, no uncertainty. So Avijja also reducing, Sankara also reducing, but in the same token, mindfulness you can see catching. So therefore, third aspect you have to apply into this formula, then that is the way you appreciate, that's the way you value, that's the way you understand your effort is going to give fruits.
So when you go back, when the sankharas start coming again, the ignorance goes back to what it was, or is it reduced a little?
No, that you know you can reduce, but now it is you are not reduced. That is because you have gone back, that is your conscious decision, that is your wrong decision. You are the one, no second person. But still you know you can reduce. You know your potential, you know your possibility. So possibility is what you call the confidence or determination power. There is a kind of accumulation in that. But that can't compensate. You have taken a wrong decision to stop that endeavorance and go back to the same old chaotic situation that you can't compensate by meditation.
But you said that the progress is very slow. So I expect the ignorance to reduce tiny bit.
Reduce in terms of your confidence, understanding you have the capacity, understanding you have the possibility, understand you have done it. That much confidence is there. But the wrong thing you have done, to stop it and go back, that gross thing you can't compensate by meditation. That's why it says your livelihood must be adjusted, not by single day, not by overnight, but that if you are not taking, only by meditation you can't get it done. What you do with the shovel, you can't get it, what you can do with the bulldozer cannot get it done by a shovel work. You can't get it done by the kang handle.
So how you measure this progress
to measure progress, you are day by day, week by week, how much you adjust yourself, your samma ajiva, samma vacha, samma kammanta.
and the sankharas, if there is a point that you realize that your sankharas, the thoughts and whatever is going on, the internal chatter is reducing, does that mean that there
At
is
that moment,
progress?
yes. At that moment, yes. But you can't generalize it for your whole life. You can't generalize the whole population. So that indicate micro level relationship. That indicate possibility. That indicate the method is correct. You are wrong. Method is correct. But it is a good confidence. It is the way we enlive the Dhamma. That's the way we enlive the Sasana. Because you have experimented it, even in the tiny level, then you have to live as life in such a way to maximize it, to increase it. So you have to use common sense. You have to understand how can I achieve this again and again. That is what you call facilitating, anugraha. So Buddha never touched on that side. The Buddha says, I will prove you on the micro level, and then how much you sacrifice on common sense as well as in facilitating decides the time period you are taking, the progress. So no second person, you are the one.
One thing, yesterday during the talk, Baba, you mentioned 3 types, and you said that when we go from Kama Bhava to Rupa Bhava, we lose 2 transgressional and what was the other one? Transgressional and 2 defilements, transgressional and obsessional defilements. You said we lose. Can you tell me a little about these 2 defilements? Transgressional is Vitikama again?
Yeah.
And obsessional is?
Pariuttana. Nivaranas.
So still the Anusaya defilements are there.
Yeah.
When do you lose that Arahata?
So you have to keep on going. Then there is a Arupa Bhava. Even then the Arupa Bhava level, only the Anusaya there, then you can understand Anusaya. You are isolated then. So then only you expose it to Anusaya. At a long time you have to understand its cheating nature, its perverted nature, and then you have to develop strategies to do away with that. Important thing is live your life as much as possible from the transgressional and obsessional defilements. Then you are a different person. You are observing full time on your Arya Pariyesana or in your noble quest how the Anusaya are cheating you. As far as it is mixed with the transgressional and obsessional, you can't make it out.
Yeah, so the thing is, I can lose it only during that meditative period. When I go back to normal life,
Why
I can
you
still
are
have
going back to normal life? That is the mistake I am telling.
Yes, I know.
No,
You know what
I am asking, reduce that.
Yeah,
Make measures to that, then you will be increasing the time more with Kaya Viveka and Chitta Viveka. Under such circumstances only you can share with the Buddha, you can share with the Dhamma and understand what's the way you have been cheated, magic of the mind. When you are mixed up with all the other gross things, these things are hidden, it's under the carpet, you can't see. So you being exposed to this kind of endeavorance, you have been certain amount of success. Now your way must be to live a life in such a way with least amount of sensuous pleasure or entertaining sensuous pleasure, least amount of mingling with nivaranas or obsessional kilesas. So you have to find the ways and means because you have some success stories. If you are not using it, that cannot be done, compensated by meditation. Because there are adjustments in your day-to-day life. And that indicates whether you are improving or not. Rather than the meditation micro-level development. Of course, they are integrated hand in hand. But your sacrification indicates how much you are faithful. Now your faithfulness is not to the Buddha. Your faithfulness is to your own practice now.
Venerable Sir, this has happened a few times in retreats. When the mind is calm and the breath is quiet, I keep remembering all favorite songs.
Good.
It stays for some time and it passes off.
Any?
It stays for some time and then
I
it
understand,
passes
yes.
off.
I understand. What's the question then?
Is that Sankarupeka?
The remembering the past songs?
Yeah, remembering and not reacting to it like start singing or something.
No. Whatever may be, the mind is, there is the asampajana kaya sankara, asampajana vachi sankara, asampajana mano sankara. Without your driving, volitional, they can't. That indicates your driving and volitional part stop. That is something to be happy. And still library shots are coming. That's called catharsis. That's called healing happens. So let it happen. Don't try to judge. Let it happen again and again. It is ever for your benefit.
After the retreat, I remember it for some time.
After the retreat?
I remember these songs, which are long forgotten.
No, whatever maybe it is a remembering of a song, maybe remembering of the past life, maybe remembering anything. That indicates present bombarding objects are not there. That's your achievement. But now it is coming from the source. Catharsis, going out. So let it happen as much as possible. Don't react. Don't be happy, don't be unhappy. That is your outlook must be. And more it's gone, you will be less disturbed in time to come. So these things cannot happen in the day-to-day life because you are mixed up with so much of gross kilesas, so you can't monitor this kind of a subtle thing. So let that subtle thing to go by sacrificing your time for meditation, and once the catharsis is gone, the healing happens. That healing happens in a painfully slow way. You can't do it. It is something happening.
Sir, I would like to ask about this Arupa Bhava in relation to walking meditation, because I favor walking meditation to sitting meditation because I get more sort of insight or more benefit from walking meditation. How I can understand Arupa Bhava in the breath, the sitting meditation, that you can go into that past very subtle states, but how can you explain how you can relate it to the walking meditation?
Whenever effortless walking is happening, that's a doorway opening for this kind of a sphere. As far as you do monitoring, as far as you do regimenting, still you are in the very gross area. After a while you familiarize with the center, familiarize with the walking path, familiarize with your normal speed, and you know now calming down. At a time you can see you are walking, it's like a robot. It's like a doll walking up, and you can see, and that is the way you start, that's the way you facilitate this kind of a subtle state in the walking meditation, that later you can apply into the day-to-day life also, where whatever the habitual thing you do day-to-day in chaos, the work, and there you can see these things are happening. So whenever you observe it, you know it is due to the past conditioning, that you must withdraw yourself as much as possible. Then things are happening in a kind of a equilibrium, and there you can see our body works smoothly when the ego is not there. Whenever ego is there, it is arrogant, regimenting. So you have to go through it when you are young, when you are possible. After a while you understand body is completely with whole body knowledge when that ego is not there. It is happening very smoothly. It never violates the society. It never pollutes the society. It knows exactly the speed, so let the body to work, and that is the way you become innocent. That innocence is not a science, it's an art.
Sorry?
Yeah.
I don't know, did you spoke about the part you told us yesterday with the birth and death is the same thing? Did you spoke about this today?
It is to say, in a social phenomena, there's a beginning, this is the middle, this is the end. That's what you call experience. That's what you call phenomena. So in the life, the totality is starting with the birth, and the life, or aging is the middle, death is the last. So it's a one single phenomena. In the normal concept of our life, we like birth, but we hate the death.
Yes, but I think it's a very different thing. So when someone gets birth, so there is a new person who on you probably have fun and see things, and the other way, of course, it's also a part of the circle of life, but in the end, the death is the end of a human existing. So when someone dies, in my opportunity, it's completely different, and of course, it's normal to be happy when someone is born, and be sad when someone dies. So
But if the person born is your enemy, birth is a hate, death is a love.
Hast du verstanden? Oder?
ja, ich ärgere mich über die Geburt von einem Feind, oder was meinte er?
Ja, als Beispiel hat er gegeben, im Fall, dass ein Feind geboren wird, dann würdest du dich nicht über die Geburt freuen, du würdest dich über seinen Tod freuen. Ne? Also es ist relativ, das hat er gemeint damit. Ne?
Yeah.
Your first idea is
person,
okay.
But when a person in your family dies, I think it's a cause to be sad. And
That I understand, but imagine the birth of a malaria mosquito and
yes.
death of a malaria mosquito. Are you happy with the birth of the malaria mosquito or dengue mosquito?
No, I'm not.
Yeah, that is what the Buddha says. If you reduce into you or your loved one theory. If it is go beyond little bit to the enemy, another theory. And if you go beyond further and say a birth of a star, a birth of a plant, a birth of a bubble. So everything has three phases. This is universal. Beginning, the middle, and the end. So we have kind of a judgmental idea. This is good, this is bad. That's the point we start the stress. That's the point we start the tension. So the Buddha says that tension is not arising with birth with the person, but due to your likings and dislikes. Then you are, the birth and the death is an experiment for you. It's a good thing you can understand. I get carried away by the birth of a loved one and unloved one. Different ways. So you can't make theories, but Buddha can make a theory. If you know how to look at it, it is not the birth and the death of the person, it's a birth and the death of your likings, and disliking is the root cause of suffering. Okay, we have taken...
What then, if it's like that, then there shouldn't be a suicide, there shouldn't be, was heißt Abtreibung? Abolition?
Abortion. Abortion.
Yeah.
Abortion.
So I think it goes to the small value of the value of life is is little. When you say it this way, I understand it. Birth and the results are this and that. But the consequences in our life are this. There is no great value of life. And why then are we sitting here and training and developing and suffering to develop our mind?
So, for answer to your question, as I think, this beginning, the middle and the end is not only to the living thing, even for the dead thing, even the material, it is a thing. So Buddha going to make this phenomena, the common universal phenomena, is not limited to a living thing, it is common to the living and non-living. And when the non-living thing happens, you have no liking and disliking. When the living thing happens, if it's a friendly one, separate kind of liking and disliking. If it's a hatred, enemy, different kind of liking. And therefore the Buddha says, the liking and disliking even not matters, even for matters for material which is not living. So therefore whatever the suffering happens due to your likings and disliking. Again coming back to the same, whatever you loved is the one going to give the suffering. That's a sideline. So, but the theory, everything arising is supposed to pass away. Look at it, the common in the man, the living and non-living things, and understand non-living, unrelated thing, we don't have likings and disliking, no suffering, nothing to meditate. Only we have to meditate upon the lovely one, dear one, near one, which is going to give invariably likings and disliking. Therefore, even the arising and passing away of your liking and disliking thing is your lovely one and unlovely one is not the matter. Arising and passing away of your liking and disliking, then you are more close to the Dhamma. Then you are more close to the Buddha. Then you are more close to your living Dhamma, understanding. So reduce it. Where does this stress starts? Where does that tension starts? Tension starts for your dear and near one. It is because your self-love. Nothing regarding the external, that projection is the Buddha says camouflage. This is your self-love. When the part and parcel of your love is gone, when the part and parcel of your lovely one gone, that you are worrying about your self-love, the day you see it, does that stress is beneficial for you? Does that tension is beneficial for you? Can I do away with that? Is it something talking about your well-being? No.
Hast du es verstanden, oder? Nein?
But it's another question. I think it's the same. Philosophical terms at this moment don't interest me so much. And sometimes I think there are so many terms, and I wonder if all these people understand them and can fill them with life. And when you really understand them, then it's also maybe a cause of suffering. For instance, metta. I think metta, there is a great power of metta, as well as mindfulness is a great power. But metta, you said, we can influence a little bit with a better mind politics. Okay, in your country maybe it's easier than it is here at this situation we have now. Another case with metta. Last Sunday I was sitting beside a man, a strange, dark man, and I thought of metta. The Venerable looked at him. He can, but I can't. Even though I think the mind can reach this state of helping with metta. And sometimes I think metta is trained too little in the South or in Buddhism even. So when I saw this man, I was afraid of him because he was a dark man. But I can't help him. And these are, I know there are many opinions where I know I can help. For instance, in the bus there is a lady in burqa, dressed in dark well, only the eyes, small, and she has got a child with her, and the child is so severe and looks so strange to me, and I looked at this child because I wondered, how can this child be happy when she or he never sees her mother laughing or smiling? And I smiled at this child, and after a while she or he gave it back to me. So sometimes I think it's useless what I do. I can't do a lot, even though I know it, everything I know it by my mind, how it is, but these are only terms, often, only terms.
No, not definitely, maybe, but if you make you more alert, if you make you more mindful, if you are making more diligent, you have your own benefit rather than radiating method to the other person. When you are looking at that child, you can see your laughing makes you warm. Maybe you can understand how I am mindful at least. So see the problem, philosophical terms, German politics, Sri Lankan politics, child care, whatever it is happening, if you are alert and if you comprehend it, my alertness is increasing, you are progressing. That's the way the Buddha says at the beginning, see what you can verifiable. Later definitely understand exactly the same thing happening in the other person. That is deductive knowledge. But first see, when these things happen, are you alert, are you warm, are you diligent, are you mindful? Then that's all. Whether it is communicated or not, don't worry, it's definitely communicated. That Buddha is assuring. But verification of the second party, third party is late. But verification within yourself, it is no time gap. Then and there when it happens, you know, what I have done, good or bad, I am aware. I am awake. I am mindful. That's all you have to measure at the beginning.
Vielleicht noch ein Wort zu mindful. In meditation, sometimes you may laugh or not, it is like a fish taken from the water and it's on the land. Sometimes I have to take breath. And I wonder, why is this? Am I not mindful? Have I lost my breath? Or what's the matter? And then sometimes I feel the body is light and it turns like this. I think you talked about this, but anyway, it goes to the side and I know, but I don't know why, and I get straight up again. Or the body is how to say, is crushed like when you crash an ice block. So I really felt strange this morning. Then I did some talking with other persons, And I don't know why. Perhaps to get over this. Yeah.
So my question is, when you feel the body slanting, when your body feel crushed, is it a result of mindfulness or distraction for mindfulness?
I know when this is, or this happened, and I know it at the same moment. As well, some years ago it is, I had some strange joy.
That is the point.
Yeah, this also, I didn't want it. I know it is, but I don't stand in this, I don't stay in this. And sometimes when I'm walking, meditation, and then, for instance, comes a plane, and I stand and listen to this noise. It comes and it vanishes. And this is, I think it's a good experience. And then after this, I start walking quicker to get over this.
So that is the point I say, the difference between sati and sampajanya. Whenever you become mindful, you go to unknown area. Whenever you become mindful, you are stepping into the unknown area. If you go prepared, that is what you are facilitating it. You are giving sampajanya support. But the usual thing is fish out of water. You feel strange. So that is why you must have saddha. That's why you must have preparedness. Next time go with preparedness, your frills and thrills, your joy will be increasing. That is the way sati and sampajanya coining together. Many people meditating, they get very good meditative experience, they hate it. That's why we must have a discussion and just report without any judgmental idea. Listening to the plain sound is good or bad. When you are feeling crushing nature of the ice, it is good or bad. When you feel slanting of your body, good or bad, separate issue. You feel it, but earlier also that would have happened. You don't know because you are not mindful. Now you are mindful. Just facilitate it. Next day, go prepared for even a serious situation. That is how you become, for me, I have to use the term rejuvenation. You are too old to be a adventurous girl guide.
Can you the last sentence translate for me?
You are too old.
Ja, das habe ich verstanden. You said it yesterday too.
Yeah, so then you have to be a young girl. You have to be a young girl like a girl guide. Be prepared.
It's good that I don't understand.
Yeah, no, I will. Before going, I will make you understand. Yeah, I wanted to make you a young girl, ready for adventures,
I'm thankful for this.
risk loving. So you are on the way.
A stony way it is.
Yeah. Always you are rejuvenating by stepping into unknown area. That is the way Buddha is making us young day by day. It is adventurous. Okay, we have taken 1.5 hours and little more than that. So we are going to wind up the